We gotta talk about these. Okay, so we gotta talk about plate press. Now, I've seen a lot of people encourage this movement, and I've had a lot of arguments in the comment section like, Johnny, you're doing it wrong, or you're using the wrong plate, or whatever it is. I'm using this just for me, or just a warm-up thing, or it's a pre-exhaust, whatever it is. Guess what? If it works for you, by all means, continue to do it. My job is to just show you a better, optimal way. That's it. And if you wanna take my advice, take my advice. But the majority of you guys out there need to hear what I gotta say. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some pretty obvious reasons why this movement isn't that optimal for any means. I mean, like, you can definitely replace it with other movements, which I'm going to go over later in the video. But for now, we're just gonna go over why it is not that optimal of a movement to maximize any kind of chest pump, chest hypertrophy, chest, whatever it is. And two of the things that come to mind is, one, load, and two, range of motion, right? Can you maximally load this movement in an optimal way to get the best benefits out of hypertrophy? And is your range of motion optimal enough for it to go through enough of the range to really benefit to the muscle contractions? Well, let's just go over right now. Whatever size plate I use, I'm not gonna grab 6 different plates, but for the sheer fact of just being lower to the ground here. Okay, we're looking at load and range of motion. Basically, our range of motion is from the top here, is the ability from the arm to basically go all the way open like this, and then come all the way back like this. So it'll be like all the way open and all the way forward like this. Now, ways we can create that movement is also by being in this position here, where we basically bend the elbows to bring them down and pushing them back up. The same thing is happening. So doing this is the same from the shoulder as doing this. Now, with both those movements, the hardest part of the press would be one, down here at this stretch point, and then here at the top at holding it where there's pressure if you're holding weights, right? Push it from here to here. And now if we're doing flies, it's pulling all the way in. The problem with this movement is that you have to press the plate together. So pressing the plate together is gonna take away your range of motion. Here's why. If I'm gonna be in this position here, the most optimal position to be in terms of range of motion would be the ability to have this arm come all the way down before we have our shoulders get in the way. So we don't want this, we want this. So the ability for my shoulder to go from here to here. Same thing if I open it up from here and just went from here to here. It's the same thing. That range of motion is good from this height. Now, if I have to hold a plate together, this is what happens. I lose the range. Even pushing a plate that is anything more narrower than my torso is going to lessen my range of motion and my ability to go from here to here, right? So just from that point alone, any movement we do that allows us to get from here and up, or from here out and up, is gonna be that much more optimal than being stuck in this position and being from here to here. Now, here's the other issue with it. It's the size of the plate. If you use the size of the plate, it's like a 25, my range of motion gets stuck. 35, range of motion stuck, and a 45, my range of motion is right here. So the size of the plate is gonna make it that much harder. Now, if I wanna make this movement harder, it's like, well, why don't I just stack some plates? Okay, cool. Well, how many plates can you stack and actually hold and do presses before it just falls in your face? It's probably the safest exercise to do, right? Makes sense? Cool. Just to go over everything I just went over really quickly. Now, again, range of motion is gonna be cut by the size of the actual plate. The plate being like 25, 35, or 45. You're gonna cut your range of motion. And the size of the plate. If you actually wanna stack this exercise and make it harder, you're gonna have to add a bunch of plates. And how many plates can you actually hold together and push up enough times? And even if you could, you're still losing range of motion. So it makes more sense to do anything else but this. So again, when it comes to range of motion, the hardest part of doing a plate press is being out here. Not necessarily down here, but more so out here. It's the hardest part. Again, most movements furthest away from midline are gonna be that much harder. So this part of the lift is very simple. This part is very hard. Only thing is, it's only this part for half the lift. The rest of it you're spending down here in a short range of motion. What's better this way? Anything else that's make you pull your arms this way to force yourself to be in this way. So the best part of this lift is the adduction, the constant adduction. That's it. That's the best part of this lift. The only bad part about that is you lose the range of motion and you can't load this exercise. So I'm gonna give you guys 3 exercises we can go over right now that are gonna be that much better, and you can put them anywhere you want in your chest workout. Okay, so what is a good movement that can replace this one? Substitute it for all its benefits in all its glory. Close grip press. Close grip press. Sorry. Close grip press. Okay, so what is a good exercise that's gonna benefit you and be a great substitute for this movement? That can just optimize it, give you everything you want and believe that plate press can do. Well, guess what? You can do this the same thing basically in a Smith machine or a free weight. Here's how I'm gonna optimize this and give you the same type of simulation, whatever, right? So when we're going back into our movement, again, what we're trying to achieve with doing the plate press is basically constant adduction, basically like continue to press the weight up, because if you don't do that, it'll fall on your chest, right? So constantly doing this and then it running through its 4 range of motion. Now, how we can make this that much better is basically when you're doing close grip press. Now, when I think about close grip press does not mean doing this, because now you're in the same position that you were with the plate. A lot of people do this when they do close grip press. So you're gonna open it up here and get right beside your body. And from here, stacking the joints, but then you're gonna push the weight in, right? So while you're actually pushing up, you're trying to slide your hands in like this, but you're not gonna slide your hands in, obviously not. You're gonna keep the pressure there. The entire time you press up, right? You're gonna try to just push this whole thing together. We can still adduct by, again, trying to press this thing in. We're trying to squeeze it together, but we're not. We're just gonna create that constant tension from there while going down into our movement and pushing up. So even at the top of my lift and the bottom of my lift, I'm trying to squeeze these things together and I get the same thing. So not only do you get the adduction, the same stimulation from doing the plate press and abducting your hands or your shoulders, you get full range of motion. See how low I get? See how low I get? My chest can do its thing from this point here. Boom, and then pressing up. If I was doing this is how far I would get. Even doing it on here doesn't give me a full range. And y'all use a 45 sometimes, or maybe 25. Either way, it's not here. And I know some of you guys are gonna say, this isn't a tricep exercise, it's supposed to be a chest exercise. Well, that's the bigger part of it too. It's like you guys are doing plate press as a primary chest exercise, and it's really not. It's like a tricep chest exercise. It's the same thing as this, only you can do this and make it that much more optimal. And if you don't have a Smith machine, which most of you guys probably do, guys, if you have a barbell, there you go. And if you're stuck with a plate, then you're stuck with a plate. But if you have other options, I'm giving you just better options. And now for the next exercise, it's gonna be even more beneficial. Hey, what's up guys? A lot of you new viewers are out there watching my videos, you're not subscribed, so do your boy a favor and subscribe to the channel. So next time I put a video, you'll be the first ones to get it, and hopefully by now, you guys like the show. So, hit the like button. Back to the show. Ready? Cool. Okay, so obviously I've done, okay. Okay, so I've probably done about a gazillion videos on chest flies, but just for this video's sake and being the plate press, I'm gonna give you guys a good substitute that's very similar to what you're doing. Now we're basically just gonna set it up as you would if it was just basically like shoulder height, right? That's all we're gonna do. And we're just gonna do a regular fly, actually. And that's it. But since a lot of you guys are so stuck on the fact that this is a plate thing, this is a plate press where you have to stick it together and push as high as you possibly can, which is what you should be doing, you're gonna apply the same thing to these chest flies, right? So we're gonna get them out, nice shoulders rolled back, away from the ears, and we're gonna press, and we're gonna push away, put your hands together and push away and shoulders down. And open up, and we're gonna do the same thing so we finish with our arms completely extended, pushing our shoulders back, like squeezing the chest even more. And then here's a cool little thing for you. If you guys can't sustain being able to get to the point where you're fully extended here and you're like, shit, and you're like, ah, and you get to here, you're gonna stop here, and then you're gonna push out. Then you're gonna do it again, you're like, and you're like, shit, and you're gonna do it again. And you're gonna, oh, I can only get here, and then you're gonna push out again. You're gonna do that until you fail. Oh, God, can't, and then you're gonna crack, and then you're back. And that's how you can benefit using a little bit of that plate press into your flies. It's a cool little thing you do at the end to gas yourself out if you're not getting the full range of motion. But the point I'm trying to make is The plate press is beneficial in this point right here. And this point right here with the cable fly makes it that much more optimal because we also have you having to pull the weight in from the weight pulling you out this way. So you're not just kind of using gravity and just adduction, you're getting a force that's trying to pull you out this way. And then again, we get to be in the full range of motion. That's all I'm trying to say. The plate press isn't a bad exercise. There's no such thing as a bad exercise. There are just some exercises that are much more optimal than others. And if you want to use something as like a pre-exhaust or whatever, there's other movements that are better to use for pre-exhaustion. If I walk to the gym, like I see a little light burn, I'm not gonna go and look for a plate. I'm gonna go buy the cable machine and do a light set of flies. And then if I want to load it up, I can load it up. That's all I'm saying. All right, that is it for the video today, guys. If you use any of these tips, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know I'm gonna come with the tell like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth. And for coaching, johnnasheed.com. If you want to know more about my coaching, guys, book yourself a 15 or 30-minute consult. At the end of the consult, I deduct off any package that you pick. Also hit the description below for those discount codes, promo codes that will save your life or change your life for the better. Like Johnny10 for 10% off bluestarnutraceuticals.com. And guys, remember, add me on Instagram and TikTok, guys. Send me your progress pics, your training pics, and your video clips, and I'll repost it for you, because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.